We're doing an extraterrestrial. Like extraterrestrial's the correct terminology.
Yeah.
But we're looking for aliens tonight, right? We're
We
looking
are.
for UFO activity.
Yep.
And Matt here, he's got a bunch of terminology to explain like the correct terminology in the community that you're in. So he's going to use a whole bunch of words, and I'm going to try to pull him up whenever he uses jargon so that you guys know what he's talking about.
Sounds good. So yeah, tonight we're going to come out for a sky watch, and we're going to have our camp chairs, and we're going to have intent. And our intent is to see something not normal, being extraterrestrials or some intelligence that will respond. And we're going to watch it, and you do it at night, and you tune into your surroundings, and we're out here at Dangama, Mungar, which is called Talking Mountain, and which is pretty funny considering what we're doing out here. But this is the traditional land of the Gungaloo people, and yeah, this was a meeting point, so it's a very sacred spot out here, and I've been coming here for quite a few years, and yeah, we're going to see what happens.
You're distracted by a visitor?
Yeah.
That car's just pulled up?
Yeah, car just pulled up, just seeing who it was, and yeah, so we're pretty hopeful that we're going to see something tonight.
So what kinds of things can you expect to see on a skywatch? Like, what are all the different kinds of experiences that you've had?
Well, that's a
big
question. But visually, what people see is an anomaly in the sky. It can look like a star or a satellite, but they signal, they go faster, they go slower, they stop. They do something that stands out, which isn't normal. They can appear a lot closer than stars and satellites, and they also have like an energy about them. You'll feel something. It's like it's responding to you.
Like
you
a
could say.
Kind of psychic connection, would you go that far? Use that language, or?
Yeah, that definitely comes with it. But initially, first, there's like an excitement and a knowing, which is kind of hard to explain, but you'll see something and know that wasn't man-made, or it can...
Something inside of you is tuning in to the fact that that's definitely not something that you've seen before.
Yeah. A bit of a knowing comes with it in a way, and that's visually in the sky, but you can also have stuff on the ground, very close by, orbs on the ground, lights. Even
is that a totally different phenomenon? Like, what do you know? Or like...
That's a good question. It could be. Whether what you're doing on the ground here is like invigorating your surroundings, like the land-based spirits, the elementals. Here's a sacred Aboriginal location of the traditional people here. Could be sparking a response from them as well. So that is a good question. But it does happen in conjunction with seeing stuff in the sky at the same time. So it could be them being on the ground, responding here. Like I've heard footsteps within meters. Some people get a light sensation on the top of their head or their shoulder, like a hand touching. One occasion I have heard telepathic communication. It was like a language I couldn't explain. That was a one-off though. That was in 2017.
Did you understand, even though you didn't know the language? No.
No, it sounded like a loud whispering, and it was two people talking. The whispering, it was between a whispering and a different language, but it like flowed. It just sounded like whispering. I couldn't make out a single word.
Yeah.
But it was so strong in my right ear. And that was in a group of 15 people, and there was 5 of us who heard that, and the other 10 people didn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how some people heard something and some people didn't.
So I'm wondering, like, when you're tuning in and you're putting your intention out to have an experience, you're calling something in.
Yes.
Like, do you think that as you're tuning in and you're opening yourself up, you're activating, or you're creating a space for everything metaphysical in that area to show up? So that's why you have these orbs and different things, and it's not just you're not just going to see a UFO. You're becoming like a beacon for everything metaphysical. Right?
I will definitely agree with that. It's not just all about extraterrestrials. It's definitely about everything beyond this visible dimension, like what our senses can perceive. There's a lot going on in that environment, and you can get a reaction from different things. And I'm not going to say I know what that orb on the ground is, but yeah, like you said, psychic senses, that definitely comes with it. And with practice, you can sort of broaden that. And I've been out here and I've sat out here and I've known, oh, they're standing right next to me. I can feel them. I can't see them with my eyes. I can hear their footsteps, and coinciding with that, like connected to that, is orbs on the ground. And
Yeah.
it's yeah, the psychic senses do come with time. And like I was explaining to you earlier, my life's been busy and I haven't been tuned into this. It does take a bit of time to get back into it, but the more you do it, you can definitely work on those senses. But you don't have to be a full-on psychic or anything. I don't consider myself that.
I used the word psychic and it comes with a lot of connotations, but all I really meant was like a connection from like metaphysically, like a knowing, like you said, or like just picking up on something that is invisible. It's metaphysical. It's not necessarily a physical connection. And that's all that I really meant.
That definitely comes with it. Yeah, you can have those kinds of experiences, and someone like that you haven't necessarily done it with, like you could pick up on something tonight and go, hey, what's that? Or I'm having this thought, and sometimes people might brush that off. But that thought was actually an important message or something, you know. Or a quick visualization, like it's unreal the different forms of contact. When you say human initiated contact or contact with extraterrestrials, people initially think, oh, a little green man, flying saucer on the ground, walking over, shaking hands. It's actually not that at all. It's like so much more, and a lot of it comes back to us contact with ourselves, like, you know, remembering who we are and becoming more aware of who we are, and that kind of plays a big role in what this is all about. It's like the rubber band flicks straight back to you. It's like, well, wait, who am I? What am I doing? And what is all this? And where am I? And
you know, I'm big into like exploring as a human being, exploring the unknown, exploring the metaphysical, the invisible, like what no one's talking about. So like for me, I'm not a part of your community, but to me, it's like another way for us to tune in to like these experiences, and another way to explore. Like that's what it is to me.
And I believe there are groups out there, somewhat of a federation even, that are of assistance. They come down and they might not necessarily be present to us in our normal five senses, but they can sort of tinker from the sidelines and assist, drop thoughts in your mind and help. Contact can be like that, dreams as well. I've lost count of the amount of dreams that I've had where I'm talking to someone and I wake up and I remember I was talking to someone, I don't remember a single word being said. It's frustrating.
You want to get into dreams, like I went through a period where I was trying to become aware in my dreams as frequently as possible, and I was trying to get as much information as I could in the dream, like first become aware, and then like if I was dreaming right now and I became aware I was dreaming, I would ask you your name, I would ask you where you're from. And I was like really experimenting with that, and I had some pretty profound experiences where like I'd get some information about a place or something, and then I'd Google it when I woke up, and there would be correlations and like even like spot on sometimes, like all of this information that I received in the dream. So yeah, it's just another way to explore, like through the dreaming. And and like it's not about the little green man, it's like so much more. And it's very metaphysical. Definitely. It's like the extraterrestrial activity, as far as I can see, is like an inspiration to explore deeper within yourself and to explore the possibilities of like how far can consciousness go? How far has it already been in the universe? Like what can we aspire to? Like what is possible?
And like I was saying to you earlier, it's after doing all this, it's come back to me. It's like, well, what are you going to do about it? It's like, what are you going to do? Being this point of awareness in this human vessel, having a fleeting experience, what are you going to do with your time? Like, you know, and
Now that the light switched on and whoa, there's so much more possibility here. There's so much more potential. Okay, like that's really cool. But like, yeah, what am I going to do about it? Like,
Yeah.
What am I now? I'm going to explore more. Like that's my
Yeah,
reaction.
great answer.
Yeah.
Keep looking around and diving deeper and finding answers, seeking truths. Before I got into any of this contact stuff, like when I was a young kid, I always had a knowing we weren't the only intelligent life in the universe. It was just common sense to me at a young age, and that was kind of where it was at. It was just a knowing. And later on in life, I wanted to research more, got into conspiracy, seeking truth. WTF is going on here? And went down that rabbit hole a bit, and then I found this thing called C5.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this sounds interesting. You know, I know extraterrestrials are real within my heart, my mind, and whatever. And I already knew how to meditate. Had a meditation practice then, really, really good, and put two and two together and tried these protocols out, and it kind of just went from there. And diving into this was my new frontier of understanding, trying to get my head around that and sort of learning more about it. But it started.
So we're doing this tonight. Like we're doing this human-initiated contact. So you're going to, like, I'm actually going to observe, but you're going to meditate on the intention to make contact with an extraterrestrial life form.
Well, meditation is a good starting base and a good foundation for this stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be about meditation. We can come out and chant. We can come out and sing. We can dance. Like whatever you can do to pick up your frequency and with that intent of I want to connect with you and have an experience, get a response. It doesn't have to be like strict sitting in meditation. When I'm by myself, it's definitely like I just like to do that. Like you can hear the crickets.
Yeah.
I just love to just tune into that and unwind and expand my field and awareness and put intent out from there. But it doesn't just have to be meditation, but it does.
It does have to be
help.
the intention.
It's
the intention has to be solid, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you've got to pick up that frequency and if you can see yourself from above, be like a little beacon, like a light, and wait for a response from there. Yeah.
I've heard it works with dolphins as well. Like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So people go out and they do very similar practices, like just raising the vibration or whatever, and like meditating on intention or even singing and dancing and calling to the dolphins. Yeah. And they'll respond, and like huge like numbers of dolphins respond to that. So like that's another example of like the kind of psychic connection that, as I'm talking about it, like it's your intention meeting the intention of another, and like a conversation that's happening on a higher level. Yep. Yeah. Not to throw you such a weird curveball.
Well, it's great that you bring that up, because it's always blown my mind how. So we're sitting here right now. We're aware of that car that just pulled up before. Can hear the crickets, the wind. That's as far as our point of awareness kind of goes here in the physical. How expanded is their point of awareness to be able to pick up on a human being on planet Earth from out there, probably not even in this dimension? Like, how sensitive are they, and how wide is their point of awareness? Like, are they using their own physical vessel to pick up on, or is there some kind of technology? Or is it more of a unique individual connection? And I always leave that open as a question.
What comes to my mind is like a spectrum of omnipresence, a spectrum of like awareness, and like being further along that spectrum of omnipresence and being tuned in to a much larger field of experience and a much larger field within the universe. And just being aware of everything that's going on in there. And like you mentioned bilocating before, like trilocating, like being in more than one place. Like, of course, as you evolve, if all these metaphysical things are really possible, like that's kind of where I would imagine it would go. It'd be like this omnipresent way of being. So like would be no sweat for me to be aware of you, putting out intention for me to come and say g'day, you know, and like if you need a little bit of inspiration for your quest. Like, yeah.
It's
But I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of always left me baffled and mind-boggling. Like, yeah, what they use and what different groups use, and is it that being two different points of awareness and them being more aware of us, being a little beacon and them going, hey, yep, we're here, or is my soul spirit from this body, this physical vessel, somehow connected to them a little bit more uniquely?
Yeah, spirit to spirit makes a lot more sense than like just little human Kai and Matt.
Like,
like it's a spirit to spirit connection would make a lot more sense, because both of our spirits are omnipresent, omnipotent, like everywhere. Yeah,
but like, is it a little bit more unique? Like, am I putting a call out to myself in a way? I don't know. Like, technically, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty of consciousness and omnipresence, we are all one.
Yeah.
And that's how the science works. But is it more unique? Is it my own soul? I don't know. It's just, that's
a fun place to.
And I don't claim to know that. I just might find out one day.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's, so I've got a digital camera. We'll get some orb shots too.
Yep.
And you just stand alone somewhere, pick a spot, stand alone, and then have a few minutes to yourself. Call the orbs in, and then I'll take a photo, and usually we get some really amazing orb shots.
Yeah.
So
well, with my practices, I can't call anything in right now.
You can't?
Yeah, I can only observe.
Yep, okay. Yep.
So, but yeah.
That's fair enough, yeah.
It'd still be cool to be present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think us just sitting around tonight talking and you know, and within ourselves got the intent to have some sort of experience, whether it be observation or whatever, I think there's a good chance something will happen.
Yeah. Now, because I want to wrap this up, because I feel like that was a good like back and forth. We'll quit while we're ahead.
Yep.
Let the audience know how they can find you.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is A Quantum G'day, all capital letters. And yeah, that's kind of where I promote this stuff. And that's kind of really the only point where I promote this stuff. So yeah, my YouTube channel is a great place to check out some of the stuff I've captured on video camera, digital camera, and
give them some context, so it's not just a weird conversation like, what is all this stuff? Like, you can go have a look. He's got it.
I also discuss a lot of the basics, like the meditation and the visualization processes that come into it as well with the meditation. And there's a couple interviews on there as well, so yeah, you can wrap your head around it. And I had a lot of fun with it when I started it a couple of years ago, so yeah. A Quantum G'day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man.
Not too easy.
Click the like button for us. Leave your comments down below. If you want to hear more from this fella, let us know. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you when we're looking at you.
Yeah. And get your own Quantum G'day.
Thanks.